This is Mo Mackey with MoMakkiMusic, and you are watching Studio Time. And today we're going to be talking about UAD's Unison Technology. So let's get into it. Now, Unison Technology is unique to the Universal Audio's Apollo lineup. Okay, so this is a process that lets you use the interface, mic preamp, and plug-in combination to sound extremely close to the best microphone pre's in the game. Now, we're talking UA, API, Neve, SSL, Avalon, just to name a few. And all of these could be purchased right on the UAD website. Now, keep in mind, I am not being sponsored by UAD or Luna in any way. These are just tools that I use every day. And people are always asking me, how do you get these mic sounds without having the actual hardware? Well, this is it, Unison Technology. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to bring it up here on the screen. All right. So as you can see here, right, this is where your Unison plugin would go. And on this particular one, I am using the Manley preamp. So let's go ahead and bring that up. And as you can see, the interface looks exactly like it would on the hardware. So we have the mic source here, which we have our line, we have our mic. Then on the other side, we have our gain from 40 to 50 decibels. Our input and output are here. We have our low pass filter, which gives us the option to cut it off, 80 hertz and 120 hertz cut. Polarity switch from 0 to 180, our pad from 0 to negative 20 decibels, and then our input and output switch here that can let us see the meter as far as input and output, depending on which way we switch it. And typically the way that I do things is I like to crank the input way up so it's getting more of the presence of the actual preamp sound. So it's pushing it real hard. And then the output is just cut up a little bit. Now you can do the exact opposite, and it'll back away from giving you the saturation of the preamp. But me, the reason you get a Manley pre is so that you can get the Manley sound. You know what I mean? So that's why I have my input cranked up pretty high, and my output is low here. Now you have the option here to switch between many of the different preamps here. As you can see, like on this one, I have the API, which is going to change the sound dramatically. So the sound's pretty much different here. And that background noise you hear are my fans going. And I'll show you why you can't hear that with the Manley. We'll go ahead and move that out the way. All right. So the reason why you can't hear the fans in my studio right now on this particular preamp is because the way that I have the preamp set. But not just that. It's mainly because of the C-Suite, which is another plugin that I have here. It's also called the Cvox. But what it does is if you have a noisy room, such as I do, because I have to run these fans to keep this room cool, but I also have a very loud computer. When the fans kick in on the computer, the microphones will pick all of that up. And what this plugin does is allow you to get rid of all of the unwanted noises in your room. And it's very simple. It only has two knobs, your attenuation knob and your ambience knob. And depending on how you set those two, you can take out, the noises in the background that's going on in your studio, or maybe even outside. You got cars driving by, or your neighbors out here cutting grass, which mine typically does every time I record. But now that I have that this plugin, I don't have to worry about that. So if I stop talking and you see the brown down there, that is all of the noise in this room being cut out. And then when I'm talking, you see the blue, wave lines coming up as I'm speaking. So it's letting that pass through, and the fans are all getting cut out. So it's a great plugin if you have a noisy room, or if the outside that you're working in is very noisy. And then also in this lineup, I also have the Sphere L22 plugin. Because I have the L22 microphone. It emulates different microphones, and in this particular one I am using the DN7, which is an emulation of the very popular Shure microphone that you'll see in a lot of broadcasts and podcasts. So it's emulating that mic right now, but it can emulate a bunch of different microphones because of the way that this microphone is structured. It's a stereo microphone, so there's not only a diaphragm in the front, but there's also one in the back. but we'll get into that stuff later. Right now, I really only wanted to cover the Unison plugin, which allows you to use these different preamps. So it's a very good option to have if you're in the market looking for an interface, or you're looking for different microphone preamps. This is definitely a great option. So you're listening to Mo Mackey, and this is Studio Time. We'll catch you on the next one.